take the Friday game, and then they're able to come back and get 2 to take the series from you.
Yeah, well, it's disappointing, you know. I mean, whenever you win a Friday night game in the Pac-12, and, you know, not be able to finish the series, it's disappointing. But you know, there again, I think they played better than we did the last 2 games, and you know, we pitched pretty good, we played pretty good defense, and you know, we just didn't. And they did a better job with 2 outs in terms of in regards to hitting, and they did a little better job of execution, and you know, we just didn't have enough. We scored 2 runs the last 2 games, and it's tough to win a series, you know, with that type of production.
And today, the game, they get up 3-0, and then in the 4th inning or the 5th inning, you guys get some guys on. They go to Venegas really early. Were you surprised at all with that move? You know, he's been there. He's our best bullpen arm, definitely. He's been pretty much their closer all season.
Yeah.
So,
no, it didn't. I mean, you know, he hadn't pitched all weekend. You know, he's one of the better relievers in the conference. You know, he's fully rested, so it didn't surprise us. You know, I mean, I think we would have, if we would have had Berg. You know, we've done that with Berg sometimes on weekends where he's been rested, or maybe brought him into the 7th or 8th. I mean, the 5th inning for us, you know, probably been a little early for Berg, but you know, their left-hander did a good job after him, and you know, Venegas did his job.
I mean, a lot of times you have a veteran coach like Coach Marquez that they'll be more reliant or more what's the word I'm looking for? More hesitant to put their closer in early in a situation that's not, you know, necessarily like a save situation, but you know, sometimes, I mean, that's more of a new school move, using your closer early like that. It seemed like.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, he hadn't pitched, you know, Friday or Saturday, so he's totally rested, and you know, this game it's a big swing game, you know, for both Stanford and UCLA. I mean, both teams needed it. Both teams needed a series, and you know, they took their one shot with him early in the game, and you know, paid off. He went 3 innings, and you know, didn't give up any runs, and you know, they at the same time they scored 1 in the 7th and 1 in the 8th, and you know, we just we didn't give up a lot, but we gave up enough, you know, and that was the difference in the game.
What kinds of things did you tell them yesterday after their loss going into today's game?
I just talked about opportunity, you know, today of winning a Pac-12 series at home, you know, being 11-10, and you know, still, you know, it's a Pac-12. You know, I mean, each weekend it's a swing. You know, I mean, things get turned upside down each weekend. You just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the years that we've won conference, you know, we've won conference on the last weekend. You know, and I think a lot of people win this conference on the last weekend. You just don't cruise into this, you know, into first or second place. We never have. You know, even when we finished in second place a bunch. We never cruised into second. You know, it's never safe. It's a 30. That's what makes this league so competitive and fun to be a part of. That it's really 30-game schedule, and you know, we still have 9 more games left in conference. And really, the history of the Pac-12, that's a lot of games. A lot of things can be turned with 9 games, and you know, that's what our mindset is right now. Is you know, we're not going to give up, and you know, it's disappointing. We lost. You know, 5 of the last 6 at home, you know, which you can't do. I know that, you know, I'm a realist, and you know, against those 2 teams, and now you got to go, you know, one of the toughest places to play in the conference, and so we know what we're up against, but you know, we're going to battle with what the guys we have, and they just got to keep plugging away, and we got to, like I said, we got to get a little smarter. You know, at times we get too big and we try too hard, and we get pole conscious, or we try to throw 100 miles an hour, and that's not, you know, it's not how you play. So it's tough right now, but you know, it's part of it. Been a part of things like this. So you know, I don't think anybody's going away, and we got to stay with the process and you know, get after Fullerton on Tuesday.
With the pressure of, you know, where your RPI is, potentially missing the postseason, basically you guys got to kind of win out. Maybe maybe a couple games you might can have a little bit of leeway. But do you feel like, or what do you do to try to get the players to not look at that overall picture and focus on the individual and not put that extra pressure on themselves?
Well, I think I think the culture is kind of created that over the years of just game to game, and we've never talked about sweeping people or really being swept or having to go up to Oregon and winning 2 games or we got to come back and beat Oregon. We just don't approach it that way. So nothing really changes, I think, in the mindset of how we deal with our players. It's just there's got to be certainly a sense of urgency. And, they know. I mean, it's like when you play bad and you tell them how bad they're playing. At this level, you just don't want to be Mr. Obvious. You don't want to, focus on the negative or focus on the, we have to play better baseball. We got to pitch better. We got to play better defense. We got to have, more quality at bats. And so we know what we need to do. And, we just have to look at the small picture to answer your question. We got to get after practice tomorrow, and then certainly Fullerton on Tuesday, and then we'll look at Oregon State.